Why, hello everybody, and welcome back to another video on the Charles channel, and another episode inside of Stampy's Lovely World. I feel like that original intro I had, where I could do that all in one breath, isn't coming back, so I've added a little gap, and I'm hoping that will either work, or I don't know. Anyway, welcome back to Stampy's Lovely World. Hope you're all okay. There's a few changes in here. I've packed away a few things that I feel either aren't important or from people that I don't respect anymore. They're all in these barrels, and I've also took down the old set of armor I had and put that away because it just reminds me a lot of the Wanderer. Let's grab the steak out of... Oh, I've got spruce flab on me. Let's grab the steak out of the furnace and we'll head over to Stampy's Love Garden and add someone brand new for this episode, like we do at the start of every episode. And yeah. Today to Love Garden, I am not going to be adding anybody, apparently. I know who I'm adding, and I'll put them up on screen. But I've clearly forgotten to put their name on the sign. This is what happens when you don't have any friends. This person, I've forgotten your name, I'm so sorry, but your screenshot is up on the screen of what you said. Said I should contact Wolf and see if he can help me. And I already did leave him a message, but I might send him another one, just because of what you've said here today. So thank you for that. Again, sorry you're not on the sign. You will be here in the next episode. And welcome to Stampy's Love Garden, or my Love Garden, as I should put it. I hope you enjoy your stay with Charlie on that sign over there. Right, let's grab Twix and a dog from the doghouse, and then we're going to go back over to the town and start some brand new work on a brand new shop, which I can now reveal will be a second installment of 3Zs. I'll let that sink in. Just a bit of dramatic effect. Yes, we're going to be building a new version of 3Zs. I'm going to take this episode... Juke, if you want to stand up and join me this episode. So yeah, we're going to be building a new version of 3Zs, which is kind of going to be less focused on sleeping and more of comfort. I've added a few bed designs, which are a lot different. Basically, with 3Zs, the original one, and I'll tell you what, we'll quickly get a run over there, and I'll show you the original design. It's kind of inspired. It's not the exact same. The Zs on the top are not included in this build. They're sold separately. I'm joking. Yeah, so it's very similar design on the outside with the colours, and there's some different materials on the inside. It's completely different. Of course, in here, they sell all different types of colours of beds. In this new 3Zs, not only will we'll be adding all of these different versions of the beds in the game, but we will also be selling bunk beds and loft beds and sofa beds and stuff like that. So we're going to be building over here near by the boat repair shop, the bakery, and the Bright Banner shop. It's quite a nice... place because it's very colourful, and I just thought this will fill the area in, and then we can move on back to the back section of the town. I've kind of been quite scared, not scared, but cautious about going around there per se, just because the Wanderer kind of roams that area, and I don't really want to see him. So, previously, we were working on this. The boat repair shop in the town, and Twix has ran off as usual. Okay, right, so let's just get back to what we were doing, but that's thrown me off. So yeah, this is where we're going to be building this episode, next to Bright Banners, and it's very similar size to Bright Banners in terms of width, but not length. This is a very long area, which is kind of why I thought this should go here. So I've got a load of different materials in this chest, all which we are going to be using this episode, and we're just going to crack straight on. I'm going to grab some dark oak, some red, orange, yellow, green, just all the walls. And also grab some spruce wood. And that's okay for now. Okay, so this build, if I can remember correctly, because it's been quite a while since I designed this, is going to be 26 blocks long and 18 blocks wide. So if I... grab some glass quickly, I can kind of figure this out. So if I go 16, actually it might be 12. it's the size of this build here. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It's 13, so yeah, it was 12 glass. I was kind of right. And then what we're going to do is break this glass and break this glass because I have made a mistake already. So this is going to be 5 blocks up from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the same thing on the other side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we're going to place 3 layers of white stained glass, a block away on each side from the middle. And then we're going to take the spruce wood that we grabbed from the chest and build 4 blocks up. And then circle that in with some spruce wood. So spruce and then like that. We'll do the same thing on the other side because I feel like this will be easier if we do it in a more... Oh, Twix, hello. Thank you for joining us. If you want to sit down and I'll push you out of the build site. So I was rather not encase you in this building because I'm not entirely sure where the door is and it's raining. What a surprise. It really reminds me going back in time kind of to like when we were on the Bedrock edition of the game. And Dylan transported us over to this new version of the game all that time ago. And the fact that it just always rained. It was so wet in Lovely World, and it was just dull and dry. And unfortunately, I don't have a Molly Mold to go to the weather machine anymore. So I'm kind of just going to have to live with the rain. Don't get me wrong. Don't really mind the rain. It's not... It doesn't hurt. You know, it's not going to hurt anyone. It's a natural thing in life, and we just got to kind of work around it. Of course, by the time I'm recording this, it's been really raining a lot here. So, yeah. Hopefully, you know, explains my thoughts behind the rain. Don't get me wrong, though. If Molly was here, or if any of the helpers were here, they would be sent straight over to the weather machine to turn it off for the episode, just so you guys can enjoy your experience that little bit more. So, that's 3. This is going to be a layer of spruce on top of that. And this is dark oak is going to come up 1 more. And then there's going to be a stair there, which we can do later on. And there's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks of spruce wood. I'm getting my names of my oak planks mixed up. So that's spruce and that's dark oak. And then we're going to do the same thing we did over here with the colours. So if I swap all of these round, it's going to go red, orange, yellow, green, green, blue, 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 magenta, pink. And then that should leave 1 block for the layer of dark. Oh. Have I done an oopsie? This is a red, orange, yellow, green, green, blue, 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 magenta, purple. Red, orange, yellow, green, green, blue, 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 magenta, purple. Okay. I tell you what, it's not actually the end of the world because I can make this a double door then, and then we've actually got some more space in the build, which I'm not gonna sit here and say that's a bad thing because the building inside, I have designed the inside prior to recording this video, and it is a little bit cramped in there. So 1 block won't make too much of a difference, but might make the room feel a bit more spacious. So for now, we'll put 2 blocks here, and I'm gonna leave it like that for now, and then we're gonna bounce over to the other side. Get it? Bounce, because we're working with beds. Yeah, we will then work on this side, mirror basically what we've done on this side, but there's going to be a window here instead of a door. And then we'll work on the roof, which the roof, I haven't explained this. So on the original 3Z's building in Lovely World, there is a... Well, there's 3Z's. This one, because it's more focused on beds, I have decided to build a big bed on top. Have I... What is going on with me? I've completely misjudged the size of the build. I've gone 1 too far over. Silly me. I'm glad I've bought shears for this, because could you imagine if I had to break all of this by hand? I might lose my head. Not literally, but psychologically, I might be really angry. I don't get me wrong, I'm not happy that this has happened, but I'm glad that I've noticed it now, rather than when we're like 20 minutes into the episode and the whole building's in the wrong place, and I've got to then, you know, finish it, get it wrong, but finish it on camera for your entertainment, and then come off camera and break the whole build down and fix it again. So I'm glad that I found this mistake now. This is not the first time I've done this as of recent. I did the same thing when we were working on the Pew Pew shooting range, where I made the building too big on one side, and I guess it's just kind of carried over to this. Maybe it's an issue with my proportions or my maths. The way this was originally designed and the way it actually originally fit was for a 1 block gap to be there, but there is 2 blocks on that side and there is 2 blocks on this side, which means it's not the design of the build, it's my maths. I must have calculated the wrong amount of space that this build needed. So it's my bad. I will take it on the chin, and we'll work on that in the coming episodes. There is going to be a few interesting and exciting things coming up soon for Lovely World. I am hoping to start expanding back there in the town, and then also, again, further developing the new area of the Funland, which we built the new Pew Pew shooting range. Further adding on to that, we do need to go over and finish that at some point. I have found some screenshots and some pictures I took of the Wanderer's Castle from a distance that I can gather some information on. So thankfully, I will be able to finish that build now. Whether I do that on camera or not, that is completely my discretion, and that's completely up to me. I don't really want to bore you guys with a build that we've already done and we've already been working on. So I'm kind of just going to leave it for now. See how we get on with these kind of buildings that we're doing, these small 2-episode buildings, and then maybe at some point, if we need to, we can return back to you know, the Funland, which we will eventually. We will do again. I just need to kind of... The thing is, with these Funland builds, it does take me a little bit longer to work on designs, mainly because they're just, in my opinion, not that easy to build on camera and on and off camera. Like when we're designing them, it is kind of very hard to find the balance there. And in future, I'm hoping that I can develop that balance into something much better. I'm gonna have to use a lot of birch oak here. I'm not entirely sure I'm gonna have enough. I can't seem to make a... Well, I don't know what I'm doing at the moment. I'm being silly. I've got that recipe wrong. Sorry about that. Right, let's do that. Let's make some gates. 47 probably isn't going to be enough. Basically, there's going to be fence gates. I'll do the front, just so it looks nice and neat, and then off camera I can do the back. Basically, I'm going to put a load of fence gates in. When we were building the Pew Pew Shooting Range 2, I'm going to call it that, just for now. Of course, it's called the Pew Pew Shooting Range Training Ground Edition, along the lines of that. That's kind of the idea I went for. But, you know, I really discovered how nice fence gates connect to each other. So I'm going to go with this. Also, I feel like fence gates are on the original, which, again, might have influenced my design choice. I feel them with more leaning into that one than, you know, it being by some gracious thing that I discovered during the episode where we were building the previous build, where I discovered how nice these fences connect. Of course, they connect lovely. Why is it doing this? It seems like I'm really hyperactive at the moment with placing blocks. It just seems I'm placing multiple blocks in the same place at the same time. And I'm questioning if it's like maybe I'm drinking too much milk before I go to bed, or maybe it's the steak that I eat every morning making me too strong. So maybe a change in diet could change or could fix that for me. But again, it's nothing major. It's not harming me placing blocks too quickly. It's just kind of me having to break more and do more blocks as it comes. I realised that I am going to run out of birchwood I am not going to be able to do the entire roof. So probably what I'll do is just build the little outline just so we can fit the bed on. Big bed. That we are going to build in a second. And then furthermore after that. I've just gone really like English language for a second. English like I don't know why, sorry about that. Then we can you know, I can go and mine some birch trees. There even might be some birch trees around here. There might be some over there. I could go and grab some. I won't need too much more. That's not a bad idea, to be fair. I could go and grab some more birch wood. There might even be some more in the chest. No. Okay. Not an issue. I can go and grab some more. I'm going to mine these back, just so I can save some materials, and then, you know, I'll build a ladder. I've got some spare sticks on me, I think. Holy voice crack, by the way. I realised, and I think it's to do with my extended speaking in these episodes where I'm working by myself, because, of course, working by myself, there's a lot more going into the build. I'm thinking a lot more. I've not got any, like, second opinion from anybody else, so, you know, I'm kind of just winging it, and with the buildings, and then with the commentary as well, because I'm having to speak more, because the builds are taking longer to do, which is then deficiting my voice, which I don't care, because, you know, I've gotten to that point where voice cracks don't really, I don't find them funny. You know, it's a natural human thing to do. Your voice box just does give up. I keep myself hydrated, so it's not that. I'm way past that age. Oh, that's all I'll say. So, you know, it's just my voice adjusting to this increased capacity of speaking, which, you know, will happen. But you know, right. So this is gonna be a bit of a longer episode because this bed is quite big. It's a giant's bed. You know, if we ever you know, made that sizer that Dylan wanted to make, where we could grow and shrink people, this would be the level of bed we'd have to sleep in, because this bed is quite big. But, you know, we will focus that on in a second. Once we've got the roof done, I don't think I'll have enough birch planks to finish off all the fence gates. We'll see how many blocks we have left in a second once I've finished the top. But then again, I can just go back to the house and grab my stash of birch wood, which is in the wood chest, and then I can, you know, make some fence gates. And yeah, because I have got quite a lot of birch wood. I did do my weekly breaks of the tree farm, whereas I will place... well, I'll go and first off destroy the oak trees that are there, then go destroy... I'll plant some birch trees, do that, and then plant some spruce trees and do that, just to make sure I have enough materials for all the builds we're doing. And then for the dark oak and any other bits and bobs of materials which we use, you know. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to do a little bit of sneaky magic here. I'm going to use some other kinds of woods to make some sticks, so then I don't run out with the birch planks, because all I'm going to do is put them in the middle, and then put them either side, and them either side, and then 25 fence gates. That might just do it, just... because I think it's 28 blocks long, this build, and I've already got one. So if this is exact, this could be really, really cool. Okay, so we got 2 spare. Okay, that's fine. I thought that was going to be a really, really cool moment where I've perfectly calculated the amount of blocks that I need for a build, but clearly not. Right, so I'm going to put a window in there. I forgot to do that. We can then put away pretty much everything apart the red wall. I'm going to grab... leave this, put the sticks back in there, leave all my stuff on me, leave this wood in there, and the one thing I haven't forgotten, silly me, the actual pillow for the bed. I don't know how I've done that completely, and I do apologise. It will be in the thumbnail if you want to have a look at that, because I will do it off camera, but I'll kind of explain to you how the bed's going to go, and then we can revise this issue, and we can then move on in the next episode. So I'm going to put 2 blocks here, 2 blocks here, and here. And then I'm going to do the same thing on each corner, like so. There's going to be a 3-block pillow, by the way, which you know, we will go about in a second. So 2 and 2, and then some oak slabs, of course, all the way around, like this. And then on top there'll be some red wall. I'm going to leave this blank bit open. Actually, no, we won't. So this is going to be what, 20, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22 blocks. So let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll put some slats in. The original plan was just to fill this all in with planks, but I've changed my mind. So what's the gap between this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 5 on each side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we'll put 1 there. And then on top of this, this is where the actual bed will be. We're going to leave a gap of 3 here, because that's where the pillow's going to go. And then we're going to place a layer of concrete powder all the way around. And then off camera as well, what I'll do, fill in this... actually, I could do it now. What time are we looking at? Okay. I don't want to keep you guys for too long. I know you all have some interesting things you have to get up to in your lives, so I will just kind of structure the bed out, and then I'll call it there, and you guys can go and enjoy the rest of your days. I'll stay here in Lovely World and finish off the build, and then in the next episode, what we can do, we can come and review the progress that I've done off camera, the changes I've made. Maybe even I'll make the single door actually work. I don't think it will work because the dimensions we've used now are legit. I might have, in the process of building the thing, just missed out a color on one of the sides. I'm looking at the screenshot I have now, and it doesn't seem like I've done that. So maybe it's just an error on my part. Again, I am very sorry for all the mistakes. I've been having a bit of a rough time here in Lovely World, as you can probably tell, with losing my friends. So do give me some time to kind of get back into this, you know, into the flow of doing things by myself, and I'm adjusting to doing everything by myself, where as before I had help. You know, one of the helpers, like the example today, me forgetting to go and put that poor person's name in the love garden when they actually deserved their spot and they earned their spot. That's completely on me. That's completely my fault. And I feel terrible. But at the end of the day, it's only down to one thing, my silly mistake. And when I adjust to this, hopefully they go away. So I'm going to put some torches up here. Of course, I can't put some on this side because I've left a gap of 3 for the pillow. I'll mark this off here, though. And then what I'll do is I'll get under the sheet and go and fill all this in before we end the episode. I hope you all have enjoyed this episode. This build is far from done, and we will be returning in the next episode to work on it. So if you are new to the channel, then stick around, because these builds and different builds are all I'm doing nowadays here in Lovely World. So yeah, hopefully you all have enjoyed. Thank you for keeping me company over these past, I think we're nearing 15 episodes now where I've been by myself. So I do really appreciate it. But yeah, so this is the 3Zs 2. I'll probably change the name a little bit, like it'll be called 3 Sleeps or something like that. But that's the start of it. Thank you for my pets for joining me. Thank you, Twix, and thank you to Duke for joining me. Thank you all very much for watching. A brand new Lovely World episode will be on your screens very, very shortly, so don't miss out on that. But I've been Charles. Thank you all very much for watching this episode inside of Stampy's Lovely World, and I will see you all later. Goodbye!